Good morning. It's Sunday.
I've lost all sense of space and time after yesterday's event.
So we're going to give you a quick intro to today before we throw across the studio because we're getting close to game time. First game today is going to be Lomme versus Bear City.
And Lomme coming off a really tight win yesterday against Göteborg,
Yep.
which is crucial for them to hold on to that number 12 spot, but they have to still outscore Göteborg today, even though they're not playing them. Something like 1.16 points for every one that Göteborg score. I don't know the maths exactly, but it's going to be spicy.
And Bear City, of course, coming off that game against Newcastle yesterday.
That was a roof raiser in the dome, wasn't it? Of course, you've got your home team to win against a higher ranked team. That means in the live beat ranking, Bear City have got to come. What does that mean for Newcastle State?
I don't think Newcastle are basically just here to play against some challenging teams, get some experience out of this, host a great tournament, and have a good time.
And they're doing all of that.
And they're doing all of that.
Well.
So we've got about a minute to game time, and you've got to go and sit in that producer chair.
I've got to go do some stats.
So I'm going to throw you across now to Riggs and Shanks, who are going to be our in-game commentators for game one here. Lomme versus Bear City from Euroclash at the Water Dome in Newcastle. And we'll see you at half-time to give you a bit more of a rundown of what happened yesterday. I'll let you jump across.
Going back here.
This is what you get.
Have you had a sugar? Have you had a sugar Red Bull?
Obviously, that's
breakfast on the table.
Breakfast of champions, a fag and a Red Bull. I am like the announcer equivalent of an athlete.
Popo said this morning she's known you for so long, but she's never seen you eat.
Yeah.
And you said yesterday at KFC, just like, just don't think about.
I don't like to let people to see me eating.
It's a disgusting human.
Yes.
I don't know. No.
Oh, we're underway.
Oh.
Could we see some roller derby, please? Are we live? Are we? Excellent. Guys,
Hello.
You're seeing roller derby. We're not seeing roller derby. I'm just going to stand up for a moment. So just so you know, Bear City are playing Lomme. Bear City are in the white. Lomme are in the black. We've had a jam. People have scored points. It was 2 to Lomme, 0 to Bear City.
We are fast and furious this morning.
They are faster and furious than we are this morning, so we are just catching up. Our apologies for that this morning. But what you need to know, right, is that Namragol is on the jam line in the black for Lomme, right, going up against Maya Mangalu. And I kind of believe her, you know, with that name, but the pack is tight off the line. We are heading to the pivot line. Bodies are flying, but it is a white shirt. It is Bear City who come out with lead, but Namragol with that speed we're used to seeing here, Shanks. Forcing that call off too.
The Bear City pivot there, that is me and Missile, I believe, picking up a penalty, so Lomme will start this next jam with a teeny little pack advantage. This jam might last more than like 10 seconds, maybe.
You never know. But if at some point these guys do give us a break, we'll give you some rosters and all that good stuff. But right now, let's keep us focused on the action here at Euroclash 2026. On the line right now, it's Mort back for Lomme going up against, that is number 3, the Razor. Not Razor, the Razor. Up the inside, cutting a line through. Isn't that a beaut this morning?
Some big hit on the inside there from the Lomme pivot, queer ratio.
But again, we've only got half a lap between these two. So the Jammers have had their Weetabix this morning. They are ready for action. Face first is always an option. So let's have a little look. So looks like we're 2-2 at the moment. not points, a couple of points in the air. That is those two in that one. So taking us to a tied game. Oh, it's going to be tasty this morning. So Bear coming in, they were at number 14 at the beginning of the weekend. I think on the live rankings we have them down at 16 at this point. Lomme, of course, sitting in the most terrifying spot in Euro Derby, number 12. But I tell you who's not terrified, Light Fury, who's made fast work on the outside with some excellent offense. I'll bet that was Brutus, Shanks.
And for Bear City, that is Escalade, so someone who I don't think we saw jamming for Bear City yesterday. So putting out some fresh legs on this early Sunday morning game.
Right, Shanks, here we go. We're getting a bit of value for money now. Light Fury is running this one. We have got 4 in the pocket already, coming back in for a second scoring pass as Lomme have locked down. Look at that tripod. And just so aware of that incoming offence on the exit of that turn.
So Escalade with start in hand. Yesterday, Bear City were very fast off the mark with their 2 pivots, Near Missile and Bambickle, both near to grab and quick as a flash star passes, but Near Missile is engaged with Light Fury at the back of the pack there.
Oh, and Light Fury has escaped, but up front, that solo blocking from Girafon was fantastic. I like Velcro, just stuck all over.
There could have been some Velcro to Velcro contact, and we have visuals on screen.
And Light Fury is back. I will sit myself down and you and I will both watch the same lovely sight. So it is Light Fury doing the passes right now. Coming into action, a lovely little shimmy to the outside, dives straight back into the deep water, has to reset, go back out and try and find another way through as Bear City are managing to get bodies in the way, but honestly it looks a little bit like Lomme getting in the way there.
And there has been a star pass to the pivot for Bear City, Near Missile, but unfortunately Lomme just maybe watched some of their games yesterday and said we've got to get in front of that pivot.
Yeah,
but Near Missile makes it out.
Great escape from Mir as Light Fury is onto the inside, and we're just getting that lovely signal that you can see. He does big ears. He does big ears, does the bench
big
coach.
ears for the Bad Bunnies. Bunny ears, maybe.
I like
that's my explanation for it.
That is excellent. So just to keep you updated on the scores, it is 2 on the board for Bear City, going to 18 for Lomme. We have got about 25 minutes on the clock, and we are pressing all the buttons, and as if by magic, if I say it, it shall appear. There you go. You are with us. Bit by bit, we will build this programme for you live in front of your eyes. Who is out there for us right now? It's Petit Bourran versus Misgender, and it is Petit Bourran who had quite the day yesterday, picking up lead for Lomme here. Gone with the star stash. Misgender has stashed the star, fools everybody, gets through, but Petit Bourran bags 4 and obeys the bunny coach.
So Lomme with a strong start this morning. 22 up against 2. So they really, Lomme know that they've got to put out a strong showing to maintain that 12th spot.
So hopefully you listen to our wonderful analysis from our tournament head announcer and assistant tournament head announcer Sven and Loud and Queer earlier, and you can catch up. They were filling you in on what the reckonings are here. So it's Maya Mangaloo versus that is Nan Rigol. We've got 2 in the box. They're both for Bear City, which means Nan Rigol has a lovely time of things, picking up lead for Lomme here. Maya is on that inside line. Lovely turn to ride out the hit there. Excellent stuff, but Nan is in, looking for points. Fast, furious feet in there. Let's see what comes out. All 4. Beautifully done. Taking Lomme to 26, holding Bear City at 2.
Maya taking the long way back to the bench there to get some high fives from the mirror bench.
Why not?
You have to see it.
Give me my half fives. So Mortbach is on the line, 936, wearing the black for Lomme, going up against the Razor, number 3 in the white and red for Bear City.
So Bear switching to the front line on the 5-second call there. A lot of these starts have been very slow and almost solid, and that was something we saw yesterday from the Lomme games. It's that slow, grindy defense.
Yeah, when it breaks up a little bit like that, it does often benefit their opposition. So lead now with Bear City here, but Mortbach has stashed the star. Will now put the helmet cover back on and try and force this call off, and there it is. Great awareness there from Bear City. And they do grab themselves 2 more points there, doubling their total in these opening moments, taking them to number 4. Number 4, taking them to 4 points. Light Fury takes the line, and that is Escalade.
Another bit of movement of 5 seconds there.
So, and on the inside line, Escalade are looking to sneak through, but unfortunately an SUV needs more space than that on the line to get on through. Up front, driving is Light Fury. Round the outside comes to Bear City. Jammer Escalade one-on-one with Brutus, which looks like my least favourite place to be, but somehow shrugs it off and with a massive smile says, look at me, I made it past Brutus. Et tu, Brutus. So, in and scoring now, Bear City. They've woken up. They've started to get the hang of this. Back in on a scoring pass, and they are holding back down there on that back straightaway. Look at that, Light Fury. Not often slow to that extent.
And
Lovely star
had a
pass.
star pass to Brutus.
Is there anything Brutus can't do?
Pivots, the
Please,
ultimate multitasker.
if your opinions on MVPs, blockers, jammers, pivots, put them in the chat. We need all the help we can get. Don't let us make the decision. Get involved. Tell us who
Morning
you
in the
think.
chat. We've got a few supporters from Lomme. We've got Celeste and we've got Erin AL. Also, Kid of Smoke says, we can tell that Riggs has had a Red Bull. Can confirm it is sitting on the desk right now.
Your problem is if Riggs hasn't had a Red Bull, that's when you need to be concerned. But there's no concern right now for Lomme, who've put out Petit Borin going up against Ms. Gender. Oh, we get a lovely drawback straight on the line, looking for the cut there, doesn't get it. Oh, we just keep on drawing them back. Don't let them near the pivot line. Big hits on Miss Gender, but somehow matrix it through and actually slipstreaming here on Petit Borin. Petit Borin does have lead and says, I'm not playing your game, Shank.
So, interesting fact, a little tidbit here from our lovely producer, Loud and Queer, is that Bear have yet to put up a full 4 points. So they've had a 2, a 2 and a 3. So yet to get that full scoring pass before Lomme are on their tail and they're forced to call it.
You got to warm up a little bit.
Yeah.
You got to stretch
And
into
you've got
these
to feel
things.
for Bear, you know, due to travel things, they agreed to swap and have the first game yesterday. First game again today. All I wish for Bear is that they have a lovely lie-in tomorrow.
And we stole an hour off them
Yeah,
as well.
exactly.
So they're having a really lovely time here in the
all these
UK.
teams and they're also playing the concept of time.
Yes. Maya Mangaloo is out there, though, and is having a great morning. Oh, that is how you pick up lead with style. Oh, but Namrigal just gets so low. Just so you know, when your coach says low, that's how low they mean.
Touch the flow.
But the race is on right now, and Namrigal with great speed there. Bear probably should have put their burners on a little bit because they did give up the one.
Well, yeah. That
But
that
I'm
Lomme
nitpicking.
offence, doing that, picking off, knocking them down to get that easy point for their. And when you've got a jammer coming around as fast as Namrigal.
Yeah, the speed on some of these long jammers is unreal. Right, it is number 3, the Razor out there going up against Mortback. We're settling into some nice jammer rotations. Lomme have been scoreless though in the last 4 jams, so let's see what Mortback can do. What can Mortback do? But I tell you who's doing stuff. It's the Razor. Incisive jamming there. Coming on through, now eligible to score as Mortback has come up against, that is number 66, that's Glitter. Oh, we do lose the pivot for Bear City to the box, though Razor is on a 100% lead ratio so far. So Bear City Jammers having a decent morning. They just need to figure out a way, Shanks, to convert.
Exactly, yeah. And to hold that Lomme jammer after they get lead, because Lomme just switch into offense.
So we've got 10 on the board for Bear City plays Lomme, who are on 26. You've got 18.5 minutes to go. We've got 1 in the box for Bear City. So pack advantage with Lomme as we all just have a little lull there. It is going to be Light Fury versus Escalade. Light Fury just trying to deliver Escalade into their wall there before going on their merry way. We're all up in turn 1 and Light Fury using those furious feet to pick up lead for Lomme. It's a star pass, but it's not a good star pass, so you've got to go give that back. Give that hat back. In the meantime, Light Fury says, don't mind me, I'm just going to pick me up 4 points.
Yeah, taking advantage of that and Escalade is in the box for a high block. So that would be why that star pass didn't go through.
Can't put that, you can't give it back if they're over there. No. You've just got to hang on to that. So, Light Fury is ready to capitalise. 8 points already, third scoring pass, and picks a beautiful line, but that was a great hit.
It
that
looked
was
beautiful
a pivot.
until Mere Missile was in that line.
So, coming back through, takes the shoulder hit, once again on the chest of Mere Missile.
Brutus trying to open it up, but Bear just keep respawning in that gap.
So now we have the star pass, it is activated. You are allowed to get on your way, Mere Missile. But Lomme says, I mean, you're allowed, but we're not going to let you. And locking down beautifully
Lomme
here.
Definitely doing what some of the teams yesterday were struggling to do, which was really get in the way of Bear City's positioning with that with those star passes. They were able to really pass it forward and not have any obstruction, as they were just going to run away with it. And Lomme just equally locking it down.
They're so aware to it, aren't they? Able to switch on, and we have the grind happening here, and all sorts of whistles as Brutus comes in. Let's get a few more shoves in.
I'm just leaning on this wall now. I've got my 12 points.
So big jam there from Light Fury, who's having a fantastic weekend for Lomme. But the Bad Bunnies are doing a sterling job here at Euroclash this weekend. And I have to say, didn't they were the ones who had all the trouble.
Exactly, yeah.
Trouble does not translate.
That's the last thing you need on your mind when you've got to play 4 games in 2 days.
Well, it hasn't translated into track troubles, and Betty Buran just steps through to pick up lead for Lomme there. So really getting their hands on this game now, taking control. And honestly, this is exactly what Göteborg will not be wanting to see happen. They really need Bear City and Newcastle to do them a favour this morning, and Bear City are trying. But Petit Buran and the Bad Bunnies are doing the business this morning, taking themselves out to a 30-point lead. And Petit Buran is another one of those jammer shanks who's on 100% lead. So 40 on the board for Lomme, 10 to Bear City. We are almost into the second half of the first game of 4 today.
We just individual, that's how we get through the days. You just split it into small enough bits.
Just 10 minutes at a time, people.
Yeah, exactly.
10 minutes at a time.
A
It's
jam at a
Namrigol,
time.
who does not need 10 minutes, not even 10 seconds to pick up lead. And is out and is powering rank, and it will be back in your picture any second now. There you go. Oh, look at that dip. Look at that line. Oh, it was smooth, it was suave, it was beautiful. And Maya Mangalu approaches the pack, and Namrigol waits for the last second.
Cracking there, thinking that they'd knocked Maya Mangalu off going for the recycle, but Maya's awareness of knowing, no, I can actually get back on.
Look at this scrum line, this scrum on the pivot line. We've got one in the box for Lomme, so they're looking to interrupt Bear City here, so that advantage isn't too big for them. I think they might want to clear that outside line, you know. But
Jocelyn,
I would, good luck moving Glitter, but that outside line does in fact open up as Glitter gets locked into a little battle there. And through goes Mortback to pick up lead for Lomme. Lomme have absolutely brought yesterday's form into this morning, and they are off and flying. We see the Razor now losing that 100% lead jammer ratio up against Mortback, who is in that pack and is collecting points. So the initial completed by the Razor. Mortback has grabbed the 4. That's the sound we were all waiting for, Shanks.
A couple of seconds delayed there just to get the Lomme pivot out of the box, so we can start with full 10 skaters on track.
Lovely stuff. So 4 picked up there by Mortback, taking Lomme to 48. Better City on 10. So we see Escalade take to the line up against Light Fury once more. Everybody's out. Everyone's on the Clementine Services Jam Line, our fabulous sponsors this weekend. Let's see who can make fast work of this. I hear some whistles. They're not for the ones wearing the stars, and that's the important thing as the bodies are falling. Great shirt whip there on from Escalade round the back, but Girafon is there. Girafon is always there. And even if
Girafon's
Girafon's not
going off,
there,
it's
they just stick a
still-
leg out. And it just,
Yeah.
they're always there. What did we
So,
discuss yesterday? The long
interesting-
limbs.
This is true, and interesting fact about Lomme, if you feel like you're seeing double or have they invented cloning, there are resettled twins on
Yeah.
Lomme. So the big,
Well,
big
I
two
believe
lanky,
they're
lovely
actually
people.
triplets. But the
Where
roller
is the
derby
third
mystery
triplet?
is we're not sure what the third one's up to. It is a power jam. A power jam. So this is exactly what Bear City will need to get themselves back into this game. But those of you who watched yesterday will know that Lomme know how to kill a penalty or two.
Yeah, by Brutus taking you the wrong way around the track.
Yeah, Brutus. Such a good name.
So this is the first power jam we have had in this game.
Such a,
Oh, for Lomme.
yeah, such well-behaved jammers this morning.
Yeah.
It
perfect,
is.
yeah.
It is Sunday after all. Sunday best, please. Thank you very much. But look, this is what I mean by a penalty kill. I think my soul would be crushed, my penalty would be killed, and my spirit would be withering on the vine at this point. But we are back out with Light Fury, who is pushing on, and there we go. Gets on through, completes the initial, so all the pressure on Escalade now to just grab any of those last points so they're not sure they haven't got. But we're going to run this. Oh, Light Fury, what a line!
She's not speed, mate. She can't get points.
So this will be a 2-minute jam as Light
Oh,
Fury
of
did
course.
have lead.
Yes, of course, sorry.
Is that-
These lot are more awake than me. If you're
Yeah.
not lead, you can't call it, can you? You can't stop them from getting points. Honestly, my apologies. It's amateur hour here this morning. Thank God Shanks is here with me for some insight. So 7-point Shanks picked up by
Oh, no.
Lomme. Bear City held to 10.
So Light Fury did not obtain lead before going to the box. And Escalade didn't get out. Oh, we are waking up in real time today.
Did you all just see that? That was a replay. I just saw me a wonderful replay there. Check out production.
gorgeous.
They're awake. They've had their Weetabix. I will catch up with everybody, but that was a lovely look at that hit right at the end there. So we've got a team timeout here, which means I should probably tell you about our lovely friends Clementine, because Euroclash is powered by Clementine, your local reliable home services team. We believe in showing up, doing it right, and standing by our work. And we're excited to announce that Clementine will soon be launching home cover plans, giving you dependable protection all year round. Make sure you grab your exclusive discount code today. And if you know where that discount code is, do tell us.
Yeah, if you live in the north of England and you have a house, which, most of us do.
The third triplet place for
Oh,
Sam.
amazing intel
We've solved
from...
the mystery. Well, it slightly ruins it because I was going to do a whole podcast series.
Where is the third
who
triplet?
is the
Those are
third
Sa-
triplet and
so
what are
Sam
they
roller
doing?
derby. Are they...
But they are
I believe they're
awesome,
out
by
of
the way.
teams.
Those of you who watch Skate Around 7 will have seen that some came in and they absolutely handled business. Do you know why? Because they're part of that French elite, right?
Yes.
Are you French? Apparently you're automatically good at roller derby. That's what's going on
I could
right
go
now.
into
It's the
it's
limb
because
length.
it's
It's
the limb
the
length and it's
long-
also the government support and
Of long limbs. The
of-
government do support long limbs
limb
in
lengthening
France. I have
and
tried to
venue
buy trousers in
availability,
France.
whereas,
It's terrible.
Yeah, but that's a story for another
There's
day.
Trousers would go over your head.
There's 3 of us here who could actually probably, between us, fill a pair of French trousers, individually, not a
We
chance.
could play for a French team.
3
on
roller
each other's
derby
shoulders
players
a
in
trench
one pair
coat.
of French trousers. That's what we are looking for today.
Izzy could be the legs.
The good news is you're not missing anything because we're all just having a little chit chat. They're having the same inane conversations that we are right now. But there is a whistle, which means we can get back to the action. Petit Boran is out there waiting in the black for
We're
Lomme,
raced, yeah.
going up against Miss Gender, who launches off that jam line, that Clementine Services jam line, but to no avail. Petit Boran still picks up lead for Lomme, so they're firmly taking control of this game here. We get the big run back, but actually that is a penalty. So Miss Gender takes some full advantage of the opportunity to complete the initial. Petit Boran just needs to make sure they've got as many points as possible. Everybody looks around and we call it. The efficiency this morning, Shanks, from Lomme is quite a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, they are not messing around. The jammers are so well trained to immediately call it as soon as their bench is saying. There's not, letting Bear City pick up points.
Don't be messing around with my differentials.
Yeah, so we have a 3 versus 3 blocker configuration on track as both team to have a blocker in for a direction penalty.
Yeah, and our wonderful producer Loudon Queer just pointing out that Bear City have been scoreless for 6 jams now, just really emphasising the grip that Lomme have on this game. But I tell you who's not impressed with that grip, Maya Mangalyu, who says, listen, enough of that business, watch me get lead, I'm going to go try and get me some points. But it is Namragol who is out and is super speedy coming in now. But that's a lovely line picked up there, and that might be the first set of 4 points for Bear City, and I am getting a nod of approval from production. So, yes, Bear City, Miss Maya Mangalyu.
Unfortunately, Bear getting into a little bit of blocker penalty trouble, starting with 2 in the box, although I can see Glitter either just giving the cute little peace sign this morning or saying they have 2 seconds left. Could be both.
Or it could be 2 penalties, which would be terrible news.
We were saying yesterday about NSO things of like showing how many penalties someone got. I'm just thinking, oh, you just give a cute little peace sign. So we have got Mortback up against the Razor. So Mortback only 2 Bear City blockers to go against, but it is the Razor with lead.
So Bear City here looking to upset that momentum, that stranglehold, because of course I mentioned it, so now they're out to ruin it. In that pack is the Razor, grabbing some points, and more importantly, holding Lomme to none. 3 points takes them to 17. Lomme on 59. We did have 4 arms picked up, looks like at the end of that one for Bear City, so they'll have 1 in there, but we are going to have our first official review.
And it will be called by Lomme.
Right, so let me tell you about our lovely skaters today. And in fact, if I read the right roster, that would be a really good start. So let me tell you about the wonderful Lomme Roller Derby, the Bad Bunnies. We have 1-0, Kajuli, 1-2-3, Mapple, 1-3, 1-2, Girafon, 1-6, Brutus, 1-9-6-7, Petit Buran, 2-2-1, L'Orage, 2-9, Light Fury, number 3, Belzep, 4-2, Tata, 4-3-4, Kraken, number 7, Quiracia, 8-5, Namragol, and 9-3-6, Mortback. They are your Bad Bunnies this morning.
And I am going to tell you who are the Bear City Roller Derby Wall Stars. So we've got 1-1-1-1, Maya Mangalyu, number 1-1-4, Freddie Mercury, number 1-3-3-7, Freudian Slit, number 1-8-1, Katusha, number 1858, Minnesota Nasty, number 21, Bambickle, number 24, Escalade, number 25, Mia Missile, number 28, Zoe Zawitsky, number 3, The Razor, number 313, Misgender, number 379, Ruthless, number 53, Rookie Horror, number 66, Glitter, number 72, Tabs.
So the official review, they were looking for a back block on the Bear City Jammer, I believe is what the situation is. So the rest we'll discuss, and we will come back to you. I just want to read out a few of our officials. And we've got I Maven, Jean-Claude Grand Slam, Tara O, and Major Buzzkill, who we need to give a massive shout out to, because Major Buzzkill refed his 200th game yesterday. I don't think I've ever said this before in my life, but thank you for your service, Major Buzzkill. That is exactly what we need.
Do a little salute for him.
Major Buzzkill. And they were also joined by Ginny, Martin McFly, Glenn Morang Angry, love that, and Mercy Baku. And then, of course, Sticks. Who else have we got out there?
Non-skating officials, we have Trash Panda, Oyu, Bane in the Ass, Sticks and Stoner, Errington, Fear Leader, Meg, Pretty Miffed, Emily of the State, and Scary Biscuit.
Big love to
I did look
all
up,
our volunteers.
when I saw about Major Buzzkill, that there is like milestone gifts that you get for people, a bit like wedding anniversaries. 100 is nothing, 200 is a nod and a well done, 300 is a large cake. No, 300 is a cape with a P, 400 is a cake, 500 is a car. So it's like, it varies between like, you know, quite a large gesture and then just a nod.
They're rewarding the official review, they're rewarding the backlog.
Somebody has won an official review. How exciting. Winning an official review.
The Lomme bench coach, so
that will see the Razor in the penalty box for a back block for this next jam. We have 8.5 minutes left in this first half of this first game of the second day of Euroclash. It is 17 points on the board for Bear City, plays 59 for Lomme. And it is going to be Light Fury who gets the pleasure of the power jam.
It's the first power start of the game as
First power start of the game as well. What a treat for Light Fury. So locking in and driving between those shoulders, popping out to the outside where the lane was wide open to collect a very quick lead.
Shout out to Rookie Horror there, because Brutus was trying to open up that inside and they managed to hold it somehow.
Oh, Mia missile on point, target demolished.
But Lomme stopping that run back.
So we're back at the jam line and we are scrumming away, but we are losing people. I think that's Brutus going to the box.
The Razor going the long way around to pick up speed. This was something that Mangle was doing yesterday. Just sharing that little tic-tac with her teammate.
Sometimes the momentum helps, and it does indeed help the Razor there, who sneaks on through that inside to complete the initial. Light Fury is in there, I promise. It was locked down on the inside line, but somehow the motivation of an approaching opposing jammer helped them just step on out.
Yeah.
Picking up another 4 points there. So they really are looking to just clinically establish this lead, jam after jam. There are no big risks here from Lomme. This is really smart, sensible roller derby. They are here to protect that 12th place. And honestly, they've done a really good job. They have left Jotterberg today with a mountain to climb. It is mission impossible, and they would need the help of Bear City and Newcastle. And with all love and respect to Bear City right now, Jotterberg will not be putting their hopes on anything at this particular point, because we've got Petit Bouran out there, lead jammer, and doing the business. But a great escape from Miss Gender to try and put some pressure on and again keep that point down. Scores have been so low this weekend, Shanks.
Yeah, that one what was the last game yesterday? Long Gothenburg. We looked at halftime and we were
the final score was a halftime score in my humble opinion. But my gosh, did everybody work for those points? That was a fantastic game. You should go back and check that out at some point this week. Oh, it was so good. And just a little bit of tension and drama in there as well, which we know you love at the roller derby. So
love to watch.
We've got another official review.
Again, or you just giving a cute little peace sign? No, probably trying to say something about 2 seconds, something about,
So we've got an official review.
Lomme going back to back, so of course, because they won their official review, they get it back, and the little light is flashing. So hopefully we will hear what they are asking for.
And
I did see Miss Gender at the end of that jam saying, I think I should have got 1 little point.
Is it points? Is it punishment they're after? Let's find out. They will come and let us know in just a second. But as I said, we've got loads of good games coming up for you today. Our game at 11 o'clock is Newcastle Roller Derby versus Tiger Bay Brawlers. We have at 1 o'clock Tiger Bay Brawlers versus Jotterberg Roller Derby, so they're going back to back. And then at 3 o'clock we have Newcastle Roller Derby versus Lomme Roller Derby as your final game of the weekend. And it has been a fantastic weekend here in the Walker Dome, hosted by Newcastle, who are super pleased to have Euroclash up and running again. They have been in the local paper with their big smiling faces as well. It is fantastic. It is a great venue to be at as well. So Shanks, tell us what's been going on.
So the Lomme bench coach, it worked last time, so he's trying it again. He's asking for a back block on the Bear Jammer, so this is misgendered this time. So we shall see if
you get a black block. You get a black block. Everyone gets a back block. Back blocks from the Bad Bunnies.
Say that 5 times fast without a Red Bull or a coffee in you.
Boo! You win one, you lose one. That's how it goes.
I respect it. You know, well, last time. Try again.
Yeah, only 6.5 minutes left on in the first half. You know, might as well.
Still
got all them time. Still got all them time. Oh, I was going to say, yeah, they still got all them timeouts as well. So all's good. It is Maya Mangaloo on the line in the white for Bear City, going up against Namrigol in the black for Lomme. It is 65 to Lomme, 17 to Bear City. And we have 1 each in the box as we begin this next jam. So it is a lovely opportunity for Maya Mangaloo to sneak on through that inside line and pick up a lead. Namrigol is facing a 2-wall, which has been quite the theme of this weekend. They've had a real time of things up against a 2-wall.
Maya Mangaloo, they're blasting through Kraken. Kraken almost like looking directly at the camera. It's like a Jim from The Office kind of.
Oh, Dan Rigol with the leap and the 4 points.
Sneaky,
Nice.
sneaky. Nice, and here we are at a nice time. That niceness all around.
Lomme Roller Derby, 69. Bear City, 21. We have just about 5 and a bit minutes on the clock in this first period. 1 each in the box as we go into this next one. It's Brutus and Rocky Horror. And we are here with Mortback and the Razor out jamming now. Up front, Razor is doing a fantastic job trying to push those Lomme jammers. But at the back, we see Mortback really driving things through. There's some whistles. Somebody's going. It is a Lomme blocker. All this action. Oh, shoved to the outside. Oh, yeah. We're just going to call that one. We're just going to make sure everybody's okay. And you can take a little look at Newcastle slowly wakes up this morning.
You can spot the announcers because we're the glittery ones today. Although Oyu is also wearing a lovely sparkly jumper.
Yes.
Our lovely producer just telling us that that last jam where Lomme got the sneaky apex jump and scored was the first time that both teams have scored since Jam 3. So both teams being really, being really precise about just when they have lead, just calling it before, not leaving it a chance, just calling it before they can take it on.
Absolutely. Let me talk to you about Clementine, all right? Because they are our wonderful sponsor this weekend. Clementine offer fast, reliable repairs by qualified tradespeople at affordable prices. They do, of course, cover the north of England. So when it comes to your home, reliability matters. Clementine, the reliable choice for all your property repairs. And a good old fifth blocker. Look at them bad boys. Get yourself some skates. You don't have to go down south, you can go up north.
It's the north-south divide.
It is. Did you go double frets? Did you go fifth blocker?
The lovely
Which
fifth
one?
blocker are here this weekend, and
They've
I may be asking if they've got some skates to try on because mine are. And the lovely Argo, who's sitting in a very
He's been there since 9 o'clock yesterday.
Yeah, in like a 90s movie, curling a phone.
If one of you could paint him like one of your French girls, he'd be really pleased. He will. Look at him. Look, 2 cameras, Johnny. Look at him. Not just satisfied with 1 camera, man needs 2. That's how talented he is.
Oh, this is a new matchup.
So we are ready to be getting back on with the action. So for Lomme, we've got Petit Baran, and for Bear, we have Escalade. Petit Baran liking a little run up. Seems to be their tactical choice.
Just needs a little momentum, tries to sneak up that inside, but is denied by Bear City as we see Escalade going up the inside, but it is that big run back. And that was Larage doing the run back there. Captain for Team France during the World Cup, an incredible blocker out there doing the business, but finding space on the outside, bouncing round. Escalade, better corner than your average SUV, that's for sure. Coming on round now. Not the lead though, gets it called.
So I thought ahead in that jam was, so Clementine Services is sponsoring the jam line. I feel like that inside line in this game is sponsored by Mia Missile because she just always seems to be there when jammers think that they can get up there.
You thought you had this, you were wrong.
So Bear City are calling their official review 3.5. You don't often see that.
You don't.
So we will
official reviews, like London buses.
You ain't free.
None, and then you get 3 at once.
That's the first time that Petit Baran hasn't completed the initial.
Wow.
That's the first time that Lomme hasn't completed the initial.
Wow.
So basically calling it before Lomme even finishes their initial.
But I think as a roller derby community, we can all appreciate Bear City holding Lomme to 69.
Lomme got lead, but stayed in the pack.
Oh.
So that's why Lomme went
Yeah.
to call it.
Okay.
Escalade completed the initial.
Right, but wasn't lead. Okay, so
Yeah,
Petit
it was
Baran
very
got lead, was reabsorbed.
So yeah, we're having jammers switches about now. The matchups have been the
Yeah.
same all game.
And something we were saying about Bear City jammers when we were reading the rosters is that we're seeing Escalade today, who didn't jam yesterday, but we're not seeing Freudian Slit or Ruthless. So potentially there could be.
So Bear City are using their official review and they are looking for a false start on the Lomme jammer. Yield. That's all you had to do was yield.
So that could potentially be that their toe stop was on the tape of the jam line. These starts are so concentrated on the jam line. And it is denied.
2-to-1 ratio today in this first half.
But honestly, even if they're just using it as a breather, with 4 minutes left to go till half-time, it's a free timeout that you can't take into the next half.
Absolutely. So 21 points on the board for Bear City, 69 on the board for Lomme, and it is going to be Light Fury versus Misgender. Big pile up there on the line, and all of that confusion does mean that Bear City have grabbed lead, but my God, is Light Fury in the slipstream. Now looks to come up the inside. This is a foot race now. Who can get to the front? Who can protect their points? Lomme are doing great. We are dropping people, picking up points. That is all 4 for Bear City. Beautifully done. Like pinball wizard style here. Light Fury has reset, has also completed has come through now, so with 4 points each. Bear City looking to have that. I think only 3 at the end of that one. So I think that's going to be a 7-4 jam for Bear City. That official review, that timeout there, that has seemed to have helped everybody. Yeah. Are we getting more points?
So Bear City opting to let Lomme have that 4-point fast to give them the advantage. Did they not put any more points up on that second pass?
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
got all 4 of them.
That's their biggest jam so far.
Yes, Bear City.
Biggest jam for Bear City, first multi-pass jam.
Big jam, and they are looking to open up that outside line, but Mortback has gone inside. Now switches back to the outside. It is quite a scrum there, heading towards the pivot line. That is Maya Mangalyu, who gets absolutely drawn back. Quirasia is doing such a great job as pivot this weekend. Another one alongside Brutus, who has had a great showing. But look at Bear City now, really resisting that offense coming on in. They are holding strong. Mortback really aware of the offense and looking to use it, but Bear City have found a way to hold a little resilience here. Mortback is slowed.
Yeah, Bear City not really sending offense of their own, just using that 4th player to neutralise the Lomme offense coming in, which, you know, the best offense is the best defense sometimes.
Looks to me like Mayor Mangaloo is just like, I'll take you all around the track. I don't care. I will take you all with me. The power from Mayor at this point, just even to keep that moving. Oh, look at that lovely patience. That is fantastic. That's how you do it. Lull them into a false sense of security. Make them think you're going to take them on a tour and then explode out. But Lomme looking for the recycle. Bear City doing a great job to protect Mayor there, not having to go all the way back, as Mort does in fact pick up
20
lead.
seconds until lead. This is brutal for jammers.
These guys are really figuring it out now. Bear City got themselves right back in this 29 place to 73, but Mortback is determined to crush that little psychological bounce that Bear City have had.
Cut track at the end.
Oh. Let's see, we've somebody picked up a cut track at the end of that one.
The Lomme jammer.
It is Mortback who has gone to the box. So our second power jam start goes to Misgender and Bear City. So let's see what Bear City can do with this. Just 1 minute 19 on the period clock in this first half, and that inside line was opened up beautifully, like a barn door. And through went Misgender to try and capitalise on this perfect power start as we go into the final minute of the first half. So up there trying to collect some points. Lomme looking to drive out, didn't go all the way to the line, and Misgender picks up 4, comes back round for a second scoring pass. Mortback is standing now and has just been released from the box, so looks to come out. Lovely, lovely footwork on the line there, but that second scoring pass completed by Bear City. We're hearing all sorts of whistles.
That is Freddie Mercury being sent to the penalty box.
So this is going to be the new biggest jam for Bear City, as we see how many more on top. It looks like a cheeky extra 2 points, so a whopping 10 points for Bear City takes them to 39. Lomme on 75. You have just 10 seconds of this period left. Don't worry, we've got another half and then 3 more fantastic
I don't think we'll
top
have another
Euro
jam unless
games.
someone calls a timeout. There we go. And here we go. Half time.
That's that rolling whistle that you are always looking for, ready for your cup of tea. I hope you enjoyed that first half here between Lomme and Bear City. So as we go into this half, it is 39 to Bear City, 75 to Lomme. And it feels a little bit like, Shanks, that they had a bit of a clue towards the end there. Bear City starting to realise what they might need to do to get themselves back in it. They're a long way off helping out Jotterberg at the moment, but
Lomme just dominating this weekend. They, they knew that they had a point to prove, that 12th place to protect, and a massive showing against Tiger Bay yesterday, the highest seed we've got here at Euroclash this weekend.
Absolutely.
And obviously a good night's sleep. Good,
yeah,
good morning, and they're back at it again today.
The Bad Bunnies have been fantastic to watch. And just before we are going to hand you over to our wonderful halftime analysis with Sven, we just wanted a little shout out for Bear City's Minnesota Nasty, who is their birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday.
So happy birthday to you. And it's fair to say they are absolutely getting some bumps. Getting your birthday bumps in.
is seeing to that, don't worry.
So we will hand you over now to our wonderful team in the studio.
Well, it's half time here of game 6, which is game 1 of Sunday of Euroclash. You've just been on the producing that one.
The production is only 4 jams for both teams. At last count, it was so they've been both teams have been really clinical about shutting down their opposing jammer if they get out of the pack and they've got leads. So if you can hear Happy Birthday in the background, it's because one of the Bear City players, it's her birthday, so we're just doing some half-time cake.
So, I didn't realise we were going to be doing it right next to us, but that just shows you the spirit here at Euroclash.
We should have brought her into the studio.
Well, it is half time for them now, so they probably want to go back and, do some stretching and half-time stuff. Half-time things. So, let's quickly recap on yesterday.
Yesterday was a lot. Started out with the most convincing
Yeah, so that was 246 to 78. Obviously, that was a bit of a change in the schedule because Lomme had some travel issues. Bear City had to move their game forward. Whether or not that affected them in the game, I'm not sure.
I think Tiger Bay just busted them 1 point.
And then game 2, we had home team Newcastle playing Jotterberg. And it was a really close. I mean, again, I think that one really skewed the predictions.
Yeah, because lowest
19th, 20th.
19th, 20th playing against Jotterberg. They only lost.
Game 3 was Tiger Bay versus Lomme. So that was Lomme taking about 20 points, 158 plays 138. Again, another great game.
And
a lot of back and forward. Yes, that was the game. We had an injury, so there was. I think there was about 10 minutes left on the clock, but it was enough that it was still counting for sanctioning. So GTOs and things here because we had such a long delay.
Yeah. It was the right decision, but it was. I think what could we?
Yeah.
If we, but we move on. Phenomenal game.
And then, of course, we had one of our big upsets of yesterday, Newcastle beating Bear City, 165 to 140.
That was
Yeah, I think we said in the first game, Newcastle would have done better had the first 10 minutes of the first half not been so penalty heavy for them.
Yes.
And we really saw them lock that down in that second game, where they just commanded the blocking and just controlled that game. And
all the teams. Right. They've done it.
and then the final game, which was the game of the lead change. I think we had
My
10
heart
lead
race.
changes in the game.
My heart. The final.
110 to 98 in
That is
favour of Lomme.
That's a hot.
Yeah.
That's what. Unbelievable. And the thing is, so really,
Yeah, there was like a handful of power jams in the game. There was one which was a double power jam because we had a double jammer penalty, which I've not seen for a while. But even that, it didn't have a massive impact on the score. Normally, when you see a double power jam, you know you're getting into the 20-point jam for one jammer. That wasn't even one of the highest scoring jams of the game for either team.
so exciting. Lomme leading. It really shows that the phenomenal nerves.
So looking ahead to today, we've
Tasty
got
games.
right now playing out. We've got Lomme versus Bear City in our game 6. That's at half time. Coming up after this at 11 a.m. local time. Remember the clocks went forward last night in the
don't I
UK
know
and
it.
Ireland. Yeah, don't we all know it?
Don't we know it?
We're still working on it being an hour back from yesterday, but we're currently Lomme versus City is in 11 a.m. local time. We've got Newcastle taking on Tiger Bay. You've got to remember this though, but for a long time I refed, and so I was so impartial that I forgot everything that ever happened
You're
in
so
every game.
impartial. I'm really. But they.
But the fact is that then game 8 is going to be Tiger Bay straight after that. Newcastle playing Yorkshire. Are they going to go into the Newcastle game a bit reserved to try and keep themselves fresh to play Yorkshire in the game after?
I don't know. Personally. I don't. Maybe they'll use it. Had a couple of. I know that roads are huge. You'll have to watch.
And then at 3 p.m, our final game of Euroclash will be Newcastle seeing the weekend out against Lomme?
That is going to be. One thing
I'm sure we'll talk about this later on as well. I think keep saying Newcastle are like the underdogs, and it's just the ranking. When you actually
yeah,
look
it's a
at
horrible word.
when you look at the bench that Newcastle have got, especially the lineups they were playing yesterday, the level of experience. There was one point yesterday where they had 2 blockers on track, and those 2 blockers had 32 players in the.
wow, that is. I think that. I don't know. Every time.
But we're going to get back to that action in just minutes. So we're going to give you a minute of quick ads while you jump back into your production chair, and then we'll go back to Briggs commentary chairs to the second period, game 6 at Euroclash, Lomme versus Bear City. Stick around after these ads to pick up on that.
Welcome back to Euroclash, and you are here with us for the second half of Lomme Roller Derby, Bad Bunnies versus Bear City Roller Derby. Lomme are playing in the black, like Bad Bunnies should be, and Bear City are in the white with the red trim. I am Riggs.
And I'm Shanks. And at halftime, where we left off, Lomme was sitting at 75 points, Bear City at 39. Bear City with a little surge right up until halftime. So some facts from the first half from our lovely producer, Loud and Queer. The biggest jam was 16 points for Light Fury in jam 4. It's quite early on. Lomme has completed the initial in every jam except one, except for one jam which called for injury. So Lomme are on a rampage this morning, but it is Bear City with the first lead of this second half for Miss Gender.
That's the first time they've not got leads.
The first time Petit Baran breaking that streak of 100% lead. Bear City picking up 2 points on that first jam of the second half.
So as we head into Jam 2, Namragol takes the line up against Maya Mangoyu. One in the box for Bear City. Let's see if Namragol can take advantage. The Bear City did feel like they'd unlocked something a little bit in that end of that second half, and Maya Mangoyu is looking to continue that. Picks up a
Huge smile on her face.
Absolutely. Great work down that inside line, and more to the point, Bear City blockers doing some great work at holding Namragol back, which is no easy feat. But Maya Mangoyu making short work of a very disjointed Lomme defence there. Namragol is having a right time of things up against that Bear City unit at the back of the pack. So coming in for a second scoring pass, Maya Mangoyu, who is, as we've seen, a very patient jammer, able to pick moments, use momentum very well, but is just slip-sliding through those blockers there. Picks up 8 points, and in fact, I think in the closing jams of the first half, and in these opening ones, Bear City put up more points than they did in like the first 10, 15 jams.
Together,
so
yeah.
They've absolutely brought themselves back into this. And Göteborg fans, you should be at home screaming loudly if you want any help from Bear City today, because you're going to need it. But Lomme, let's be honest, Shank, what a weekend.
Owning that jam line at the start of this jam in a very interesting fashion, let's just say. But it'll be effective, I'm sure.
I mean, it's one way to try and put off the opposing jammer, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So Mortback taking on the Razor here. Is Razor at the back, who has been captured and contained quite nicely, but that's some great offense coming in from 1858. Minnesota Nasty, the birthday blocker of the day. Big run back there on the Bear City jammer, as we see Mortback trying to work hard up front. The offense is coming in. That is Larange doing the offense, but it is in fact Bear City who come out,
but
not
Razor
with lead.
taken off his hat, so...
Never take your hat off till the whistles are gone. So Lomme have picked up lead and are able to call it immediately. So this is going to be a tasty second half by the looks of things. No points for anybody in that one. Keeps us at 49 for Bear City, at 75 to Lomme. We're going to have Escalade going up against Light Fury here. We'll get that nice little shuffle at the beginning, and Light Fury just absolutely using the shoulders to wedge in to that wall here, as we see Escalade dancing on the inside, looking to use the space a little bit, but unfortunately has picked up a penalty here. So Light Fury able to pick up lead, and now has a power jam courtesy of a back block by Escalade. So Lomme able now to try and put some points up. I think we saw Light Fury put up at least 12 or so.
Light Fury
earlier.
getting a back block of their own, so we're going to have a little jam switcheroo.
I can't remember the last time I saw this many back blocks in a game. It's normally normal.
Me and Painbow were announcing yesterday, and we thought, we haven't had a back block in about 3 half.
Yeah, it's all, they've
the announcers guys is alive and well.
Sorted their forearms out, but it's all about them black blocks today. So Escalade is back out and is trying to deal with a Brutus, and that is Kaiju Lee as well. And yeah, that's how it goes, really. Quite simply.
Escalade to the floor.
The bridging there by Lomme, trying to give their blockers as much room to work with, but Bear City are doing a great job of containing at the back, and so that will allow their jammer the opportunity to force one of these to drop now to bridge.
So
unreal.
So as Light Fury was lead before going to the penalty box, we have got ourselves a 2-minute jam. Light Fury managing to break up that standstill with some beautiful pirouetting toe stop work.
Yeah, some great footwork here from Light Fury as we see the pack now just absolutely piling in, but not enough on that inside line to deny Light Fury, who's through for another 4 points. That's 8 on the board for Lomme. This is quite a big response to that momentum that Bear had picked up, as we see Light Fury engaging once more, but Freddie Mercury more than able to absorb that hit. So Escalade out now, ready to force the call off, and let's see how many more.
Well, that jam coming to its natural conclusion after 2 minutes.
Oh, of course, no
Beautifully
call off.
called off by our jam timer, or you.
Well done, all you. Lovely
They're
job.
commanding. We've got a little squat off on the inside line here between Cuirassier and someone who's literally so balled up I can't see their number.
So it was 10 points in the end for Lomme on that one, stretching them out to 85. Bear City on 49. Got 24 minutes on the clock, and you've got Petit Boran going up against Misgender. And Petit Boran finds room on the outside to go on through to collect lead. Looking for room up the inside, but denied was Misgender as Petit Boran comes back in on a scoring pass. In the thick of it now, staying in the middle. Both jammers locked in behind each other. Petit Boran, though, slips to the outside, and a lovely side surf just around the Bear City blockers, who just look a little discombobulated. Cuirassier in the mix there, just causing them a few problems, but Misgender takes advantage, gets out and completes the initial, and is trying to halt the run of Petit Boran here. Might have grabbed a point at the end there, maybe. Let's see.
1 point for all their trouble.
Yeah, sneaky point. 1 point for Bear City takes them to 50. 6 picked up by Lomme takes them to 91.
So we have the Razor for Bear City up against Nanja Magol. So the Razor, we haven't seen them jam since sort of midway through the first half. They took a bit of a spill.
No, they've been out.
Oh, they did jam
They
earlier.
promised. They
I'm
popped
daft.
out earlier. They were having a
Good to see
lovely
them back
time,
on
and they
shape.
did exactly that earlier as well. But this time, it's a back block.
Oh, no.
It was only going to be a black block, wasn't it? So this is a power jam in favour of Nam Rigol now, who has found some momentum and is managing to avoid the bodies that are on the floor to pick up lead. So this time Lomme do have control of the jam. And Nam Rigol will be looking to make hay while the sun shines. But running straight into Glitter is probably not your best course of action. I'd probably go round Glitter. I'm not an expert, but just seems
They
sensible.
did manage to floor Glitter on their initial pass with that momentum, but there's the joke to be made about that Berlin Wall is just solid, unfortunately. This one has not been toppled in 2026.
Yeah. So
This is the only one that is
the
acceptable.
Razor is back out and is engaging. Nam Rigol ends up on the floor, but uses that opportunity to pop back up and spring to the other side of the track. But it is the Razor who is making an absolute chaos out there. And somehow Nam Rigol stays up and manages to stay in the middle of all of that. And Lomme do close around the Razor here once more. So Nam Rigol with 4 in the box, 4 points in the pocket even, not in the box, coming in now for a second scoring pass, but is met there. Lomme looking for the track cut, and they do get it. Excellent work, that was Girafon there, picking up, or forcing the track cut. So double power jam for Lomme here, and Nam Rigol manages to evade that last hit. That's the second scoring pass completed. So this is our first double jammer penalty, which I'm sure the Razor will be really proud to be on the receiving end of. And Nam Rigol lands bomb first and says, that'll do me, as Lomme break the century mark. Those 10 points take them to 101, playing Bear City's 50 with 20 minutes left on the clock. Shanks, what do Bear City need to do here? They
They need to defend this power start first up here. something that we're not seeing from Bear City in this game that they were doing yesterday, keep going on about, is their star passes. They were so on it with when they weren't lead. That star was popping off and going to someone else.
Have we had any today?
None that have been super successful. They kind of get like, yesterday the pivots were positioning themselves so well that for a quick getaway.
Yeah.
They were parked on the curb, or they were double parked outside.
Now you say it, I remember sitting on those crash mats seeing Mia Missile with a, a star and a stripe going on. So interesting to see what Bear City can come up with here as Mortbach is lead and in control of this jam once more for Lomme. Has collected the first 4 points as we see the Razor is out, but not able to do anything at the moment because Lomme just keep reforming. Every bit of progress is being swallowed up once again. Now we have the star pass. Minnesota Nasty. So, but Mortbach is 8 points deep already, and that is 12. Great jam.
Nasty. Trying so hard for that sneaky last point at the end.
Yeah.
Asking the ref nicely, but unfortunately.
I wonder if you can ask for one just because it's your birthday. You know, like you get 10% off if it's your birthday, or you get a free sausage roll in Greg's. Like, can I have a point because it's my birthday?
Can we? Yeah. We have to tell Nasty this as a consolation prize. Like,
just need to clarify, I do not work for Greg's. I do not know if those conditions apply. Please do not turn up at Greg's and say Rig said I could have a free sausage roll because it's my birthday, because I just don't think it's going to work for you. But let's see what's working out here. It's Light Fury versus Maya Mangled, and somehow Light Fury's legs bend in all sorts of directions. They can get back up, going Matrix again, just that one hand out, so they're all good. They take the lead, and we are away. Maya Mangalu is being recycled. Guess who? Brutus and Eurofon. Breaking jammer hards all over the track there. But Light Fury having a little moment of misery there on the outside, but somehow finds a way to come through. Sometimes being in the deep water does help. You are safe when you go down. You can just pick yourself up and carry on again. That was a big hit against Bambin Nickel, who does pick up a penalty for that one.
So the pack sped up a bit there, which is a rarity in this game that's been like so treacle slow. Maya Mangalu just managed to part the seas and get through.
So 4 on the board for Lomme in that one, stretching them out to 117. So that's a 67-point difference at the moment. Bear City have been held on 50 for a little while now.
Last 3 jams, and that was only broken by a 1 point. Yeah, 1 point in the last 6 jams. Scoreless for 3, so.
Team timeout, who's called it? I do believe it's Bear City, and
and they're giving and they're having a little pep talk around the penalty box with Bambekel, who is sitting for that direction penalty they picked up in the last jam.
Imagine calling a timeout just so you can go and tell your blocker off in the box.
No, hopefully it's not telling off, it's saying, what are we going to do, lads? What are we going to do when we get out of here? How are we going to...
Says you. You don't know that. They're like,
I'm
so mad at you, I took a time out. I'm kidding. We all love each other.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just showing a bit of support. It's okay, don't you worry, we got you.
I'm such an annoying hippie when it comes to this stuff. A loss is just learning.
You either win or you learn. You win or you learn. You're all very quiet in the chat this morning, keeping your opinions to yourself. Not had enough coffee. You can get involved. If you've got things to say, we'll talk about them.
But thank you for the feedback on the audio issue, because obviously, you can't talk back to us if you can't hear what we're saying.
I don't know if that was the audio.
That was for the studio bit, but keep it coming.
What I said. It was great.
They thought you were very interesting, but you do need to wear your mic a little further up next time. Anyway, back to the action. It is Betty Boran taking on Miss Gender. Bampa Nickel is in the box, but Betty Boran is your lead. And Lomme are absolutely determined to give up none of the momentum to Bear City. They're not interested in your timeout. They're just going to come out and handle their business. We chatted to them after the game yesterday, and they just said it's all about staying cool, calm and collected, keeping their heads, and that clinical efficiency we've seen from them. And there's another example of it. Petit Bourran just
that was
ticking
not cool,
4.
calm or collected. That was very cute. But yeah, I was thinking Lomme should, if they take that that mentality also into when their travel plans get royally screwed.
What?
I want them to write a book about how to stay calm.
There is chill.
There is market for that. It is me.
How to not lose.
How to not lose your
How
mind.
to
when
not
everything's
lose
going
your
wrong.
glitter when EasyJet mess you about. That's what
Yeah.
it's all about. So it is going to be Namragol going up against Escalade here. Larage is in the box. So we'll be rejoining the crew at some point shortly. But in the meantime, looking for a short whip, can't find it, but Bear City with Escalade are pushing up front. The offense is in there, almost yields something, but of course Brutus says, no, I will make you work for every last foot you get, and Namragol explodes up the inside to pick up lead for Lomme. So, here we go. I'm seeing some star pass signals just like you are.
So that is Van Bickle now holding the star, but unfortunately in the same position that the jammer was just a second ago, behind Brutus.
Yeah, talking of interrupted travel plans,
Yeah.
that's a pivot going nowhere.
Yeah, Lomme just really neutralising those star passes by sucking the pivot into that same hill their jammer was.
Yeah,
just in.
you hit Nan, but Nan was
was the
so
most-
low and so
It's
still
the
in
most
bounds.
gentle, lovely hit from Freddie Mercury.
Just we'll let you know about
Very
it on your way
refreshing.
through. So Namragol is picking up points here and is very comfortably in control of this. Bear City, you know, kind of not doing anything at the moment. They're not
Yeah,
particularly
Zoe
doing
Zawitsky
offense. They're
going
not
for the-
particularly doing
Yeah,
defense.
going for the run out, but
Just a little lost in
not
the
the
action.
speed of these jammers.
Oh,
With the apex jump.
Nan's one of the few this weekend who's been giving me that. Nobody's been giving me any apex action. So Nan, I
We've all been
appreciate
thoroughly
you.
grounded. We
It
have
is
turned
because
up the
it has been
gravity.
such a grinding weekend, Shanks.
Yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, blockers have not been giving jammers a single inch to get taxi for the light.
Yeah. And Namragol putting up the biggest jam of the game and of the day, set the tone.
23 points.
Oh,
for
look
Namragol and
at
Lomme.
that. That is a statement.
So here we go, lovely little replay. Is this going to be the apex jump? And there they go.
Yes.
Kind of shielded from the re-entry there by
Girafard.
Yeah, Girafon, of course it is.
If you see somebody super tall, it's
Who can I
Girafon
see
or
over everyone's
Larage,
head?
one
Yeah.
of them. Got to see what shorts they're wearing. So Morkbach coming up here against the Razor. The Razor is unceremoniously dumped to the floor, but the Plumbucker does pick up a penalty. Cuirassier left to try and slow the roll, but Razor doing what Razor's done really well in this game, which is picking up lead. Now let's see if we can convert to points, but Morkbach is looking to escape, so just about 3/4 of a lap between them, and we know these Lomme jammers have got some boosters, but Razor picking a line, and oh, that was epic. Just slightly out of your shot, but
Yeah.
it was
So
huge.
Lomme there with just one
With-
blocker on track, but unfortunately that was Cuirassier.
Yeah, that was a big
Did
hit.
plenty of damage
We're
on their own.
just going to take a moment here. We have what a fantastic team of medics who have. You know, we've got our money's worth this weekend. Their green trousers have been a delightful sight to see coming across the track to look after us all. We have taken some really good care. And those of you who've been watching this weekend will know that the hits have been big.
Yes.
So there's a lot on the line. Hopefully you were watching our wonderful analysis with Loud and Queer and Sven, so you understand what's at stake. Hopefully you were listening really carefully.
But also, while we take this moment, so we've got the medics looking after our bodies. Who's looking after your home? Could it be our wonderful sponsors, Clementine? The segue was there and I took it. Clementine Services are sponsoring our whole event. They're sponsoring our lovely volunteers high-vis jackets. And hell, yesterday they were even handing out literal Clementine so we don't all get scurvy from sitting in the sports hall and not seeing daylight and eating pot noodles. Clementine, what do they actually do? They look after your home. They are offering. Where's the piece of paper?
I was going to say, we did write this down for you, Shanks.
So when it comes to your home, reliability matters. Clementine, the reliable choice for all your property repairs, and they are starting to do a home cover plan. So if you're in the north of England, I feel like a business supporting a roller derby event like this is a massive green flag.
Yeah, true
Trying to
story.
find tradespeople for your home is a nightmare.
Yeah.
So, yeah, trust Clementine.
Facts.
So Razor is being seen to by our lovely medics, and it looks like we are getting ready to get started again. Once we've got medic going.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Picked up 4. So Bear
All
City.
4 points on just one block. So Querescia was the only blocker for Lomme on track at the time. So the Razor picking up Querescia's point and all 3 of their teammates in the box. 4 for 1. Can't beat a deal like that. And here we go. We are getting ready to start the action again. So we've got Light Fury for Lomme and Maya Mangle for Bear City. So like I said, Lomme with a bit of penalty trouble in that last jam. So Lomme starting with just 2 blockers. But it is Brutus and Kraken. So but Maya Mangle makes light work of them and is your lead jammer. Light Fury whipping the star off, but already on their way out of the pack. About half a track behind Maya Mangle. Comes up against Brutus, but ooh, not quite fast enough. 3 apiece. So no advantage in that jam, but Maya Mangle still picking up points. Lomme still with 2 blockers in the box, so it will be another pack advantage for this next jam. But both of them standing and raring to go.
Lovely. So 57 on the board for Bear City, plays 147 for Lomme. It is Betty Boran taking on Miss Gender, a matchup we've seen a number of times today. Betty Boran looking for that outside line, likes to step on through. Miss Gender choosing that option as well, but resets and finds a lovely gap there, opens it up, picks up lead for Bear City here. So Petit Boran, not often not the lead jammer, but does escape relatively quickly, about half a lap between. But Miss Gender is in now with a real opportunity to pick up some points for Bear City here. Let's see how many she grabbed.
Just the one.
Just the one, Mrs. Wembley.
Calling the jam from the floor there.
So Bear City up to 58. And it's going to be Escalade versus Namragol. Full pack for everyone. And they are all on that jam line, not looking to give these jammers an inch from the start. But it is Escalade who does find some room, gets their legs under them and is driving up front. But we've seen this before. Lomme really comfortable in their ability to hold. They have had to drop to a 2-wall as one off, but it's great work from Escalade. Oh, it's that back block again. That pesky back block is haunting the jammers today. So this is a power jam in favour of Namragol, who can still pick up lead. That is still open at this point. And Bear City will do...
run back there from 3D Mercury.
Yeah, I was about to say Bear City will do everything they can to stop that from happening, but Namragol says, no, you won't.
And, well, Lomme's blockers opening up the inside line certainly helped Namragol there.
Brutus just clearing folks out. Just get off
just
the
have
track.
a little tidy up, you know.
Oh, who
I'll
left
just get them out your way for
Who
you.
left this Bear City blocker line in the way?
Oh, we'll look after, we'll keep them here.
Bit of
For
a hazard.
safekeeping.
Just a hazard. So Namragol picking up the first 4, responsible for our biggest jam of the day so far. 23 whopping points put up by Namragol not that long ago. Back in now with an opportunity, but Escalade is back out there. Girafon says, I don't care if you back out, you're going backwards. Brutus is there doing the business for Namragol, trying to set Nan free. And there it is, lovely hop on the outside line, takes Nan on through. So this is 2 scoring passes, a third coming in as we see Escalade has made it up to the corner of turn 1. Is in there somewhere, I swear to you. But it is Nan who is actually locked down, and on that outside it was Escalade who does finally escape the pack. So putting the pressure on Namragol, who's using those hips so well, just to ensure as many past as possible. Are we going to get all 4? We are indeed.
So
Great
that jam
work.
coming to its natural conclusion after 2 minutes, with Bear City only just completing their initial right at the end of that 2 minutes.
So, Mortbach is out, right, waiting on the line, ready to go up against Maya Mangalu.
I would like to see Queer Russia in some kind of limbo competition. I think they would do very well.
Multi-talented, that's for sure. The pack is absolutely whirling here, and it is Mortbach who takes advantage of that. Has picked up lead, but was then kind of overtaken, and so just calls off the jam.
Try again.
We'll just
Have a do-over.
rinse and repeat. Let's have another go.
We've got a 101-point lead in this game, and we are in the last 9 minutes of this game.
That's gonna do their GPA the world of good, and they should be sitting pretty comfy as we go through the rest of the day, because that's the worst thing sometimes is, you know, you do all you can do and then it can rely on other people, but Lomme have not relied on anyone to keep hold of their 12th place. They have played their hearts out this weekend and been fantastic to watch, but Bear City know that roller derby is all about every single point and will keep on fighting. There's 8 and a bit minutes to go for Bear City to eat into this differential, and Miss Gender is jamming hard and trying to do just that as they pick up 4 points for Bear City. So we have Light Fury looking for a way through, finds it at last, so completes the initial, but Miss Gender will be looking to make sure all 4 of those points have been got. Let's look for the fingers in the air. Just a 3. Still, if you're Bear City, I'd take 7.
Yeah.
65 to them, 159 to Lomme.
That's it, yeah. In these last 7.5 minutes, they're going to want to do everything they can to eat away at that. It's all about the ratio, isn't it, in this new rankings world?
Yeah. So Petit Bourran up against Escalade. Petit Bourran with a quick start there. We've got a very split pack here from Bear City. We're trying to do offense and defense at the same time, but Petit Bourran makes short work of that 2-wall to pick up lead for Lomme. Such a consistent jammer this weekend, and beautiful lines. Centre to the shops there. Honestly, that were gorgeous.
Quick adjustment of the shoelace.
So Petit Bourran with 4 already, back in, looking for a lovely line here to pick up another 4.
This looks like the jam start all over again. We haven't moved from the jam line. So much
They're
has
like
happened, and we're back here again.
Deja vu.
It's like one of those dreams where you wake up and you've got to go back to school.
So Petit Bourran just trying to get back in there, make sure there's no big run back. Bear City doing quite well at spreading around here, but there's some great patience here from Petit Bourran, just trying to think what the smart move is here. Larage coming in with the offense. And there it is, just really smart, patient, you know, almost conserving the energy. Really smart jamming from Petit Bourran here.
Yeah. So Lomme with 1 more game to play, not until 3 o'clock, but you know, still want to keep something in the tank maybe, whereas this is Bear City's last game of the day and of the weekend, so if they're going to pull something out of the bag this last 5 minutes, is the time to do it.
Yeah, you want to go home making
Nice
sure you've
peek.
left,
Put your feet up.
yeah,
Good
left
back
everything
foot.
on the track there. So Petit Bourran with 12 points now. There's still 20 seconds on the clock. So
That was a beautiful star pass to Mia Missile there. That's what I'm talking about. Mia Missile right at the head of the pack, ahead of Queer Ratio, which is where the side of them you want to be on.
little duck in. Let's see, no, denied at the end there. So that's a 12-0 jam for Lomme, who are closing this game out in quite some style. 65 to Bear City, 171 to Lomme, 5 minutes on the clock. And don't forget, we've got 3 more games for you today. 11 o'clock, Newcastle Roller Derby are taking on Tiger Bay Brawlers. Then at 1 o'clock, you have Tiger Bay Brawlers taking on Jotterberg Roller Derby. And at 3 o'clock, Newcastle Roller Derby versus Lomme Roller Derby. Let's see who we got out there. It's Namragol versus Maya Mangalu, and they are just one
life form, one amoeba, one
but
blob.
bursting out like alien from a chest comes Nan Rigol, who is the life form with the energy out there right now. taking everyone on. They are looking to smash 200, I reckon. They'll be keeping their eyes on that. And we know Namra Gold can put up some points, Shay Shanks.
Yeah.
So, picked up the first ball.
Oh, just avoiding their hips there. Of,
Big arms as well. Like, did you see me?
of Laura.
Did you see me? You can't touch me. Hey!
Going
Somebody press that
airborne
replay
again.
button. Get me a replay. Show me them apexes. Look at this. Look at this.
Whoa. Beautiful.
I have power. I request a replay. And a replay appears.
Can we ask for like
go to my head.
videos of cats or something? No. It's not like
That's
videos, not
half time.
anything.
You
Yeah,
know
no,
you
that's
can
my
go
special
look at
point.
illegally
Anyway.
small cats at half time. Right now, you've got to focus on misgender taking on Mortbach as we go into the final 3 and a bit minutes of this first game. Lomme are doing everything they can to tell the Europe that they deserve their invite to champs. Bear City are doing everything they can to close this differential down. Because
and misgendered with lead jammer.
yeah, and they've done really well at getting lead. The conversion into points, that defense from Lomme has been outstanding. You know, it's just such a difficult thing to crack. Bear City looked like they might have a couple of times, but as we see that jam come to an end, it looks like it's going to be 4-all on that one.
Yes.
And we have Bear City on 69. Nice. And Lomme Roller Derby on 183. You're going to have Light Fury versus Escalade. Who's in a box, Shanks?
That is Rookie Horror for Bear City, so Lomme with a bit of an advantage.
Can Light Fury capitalise?
Using that advantage to recycle Escalade.
Yeah. Because, of course, Brutus is up front, causing all sorts of chaos for the Bear City blockers. Unceremoniously dumping folks to the infield there. Have you met the refs? They're lovely. Escalade trying to work that lateral movement, but somehow there's always a black shirt in front. Light Fury is being held beautifully by Bear City here on the outside, who don't want to let them anywhere near those 200-point mark. They're like, no, you can't have it. But Light Fury says, but I want it. Working that outside, but Bear City, great determination by their blockers. And finally, Light Fury picks up lead almost a minute into the jam there.
Freddie Mercury there, shrugging off a big hit from Brutus, which is not an easy task. And Ben Bickle showing Light Fury to the inside line.
Yes.
Berlin doing everything they can in these dying minutes of the game to lock down Lomme.
So much work out there. Light Fury will be picking up points in there each time their hips sneak past somebody. You can see our refs just checking in. Just getting low to make
What's
sure.
going on in the middle of that?
Where are their hips? Just really keeping an eye on things. Light Fury, though, looked for some room on the outside, didn't find it. Gets the no pass, no penalty moment. Keeps on pushing. 1 to beat. Bear City picks up a penalty, blocker penalty there, and Light Fury escapes with those 3 points there to take Lomme to 186. Bear City held on 69, and there are just 30 seconds left in this game.
So this, what will almost certainly be the last jam of the game. We'll
What a
start
wait.
with a blocker apiece in the penalty box. That is Kai Julie and Rocky Horror, both for a pair of Ps, a pair of pack penalties, so they did something in the wrong place where they shouldn't have been.
Naughty, naughty. So as we are heading into the conclusion of this first game of day 2 at Euroclash, I hope you've enjoyed this. Maya Mangaloo has enjoyed themselves, done really well today. Just a little bit tricky to convert the points. Petit Bouran breathing down their heels. All sorts of communication coming out of Maya there. Just telling everybody where they ought to be. Does manage to take Petit Bouran off to the inside. That was a great little hit. No dramatics, just a nice little shove, using their own momentum against them. But Petit Baran coming back round. Lomme just leaving Quiracia to deal with everything out there, and Maya Mangaloo making light work of that. What a way to finish out the game. Let's check on that. I think that's it. It was 4 points to Lomme on that one. 8 points picked up by Bear City at the end. That takes your unofficial final scores to 77 to Bear City, 190 to Lomme. Declarative. Yeah. Welcome to Sunday morning at the Dome.
That was a strong, if slightly chaotic finish to the game there by Bear City. Everyone getting penalties, everyone going really fast. But that does bring us to the end of game one.
That's the big whistle that we wanted. That is now your official score. Shanks, what a game to start the day.
What's happened?
I tell you.
Lomme just continuing their putting their stamp on this weekend. So they've come in as that 12th seed. When they get to playoffs, they'll be that potentially bottom seed. They're showing that they're not coming to play around.
Absolutely not. And with defence like that, and jammers who can do that, sort of pivots who do those sorts of things, I too am exhausted having just watched that as well. Those of you who enjoy the blocking aspect have hopefully had quite a delightful weekend. Yeah, it has been absolutely intense. Let me give a massive shout out and thank you to every single one of our volunteers, our officials, our medics, our fans, the dogs. Why aren't there more dogs in here this morning? Get the dogs back down here.
The dogs don't know about daylight savings. They're trying to get fed at a different time.
They don't. But that is just the first of 4 fantastic games today. So join us at 11 o'clock for Newcastle Roller Derby versus Tiger Bay Brawlers, our hosts taking on the Welsh there. At 1 o'clock, the Welsh are back to take on the Swedish. Those Tigers are not afraid of a little two game action. And then Newcastle will round things out with a lovely game against the team you've just seen here this morning, Lomme Roller Derby Bad Bunnies. It's gonna be a beaut. Shanks, I've had a lovely time.
I've had a lovely time too. Thank you so much, Ruth.
Thanks for joining us today. And we'll send you over to some people who know some stuff after, I suspect, some ads. Enjoy yourselves.
Take care, guys. Bye.
Good. Just double checking because a little bit of a technical issue. So I'm here with Mangle and Freedom University. After that, really amazing game against Lomme. Can you talk to us about what were your proudest, best moments?
I think our proudest moment for the team was how much grit we had. That was our word coming in today's game after playing 2 very tough games on the weekend. And we also, like, Initiation by Fire had 3 skaters playing their first WFDA game with us. We had a bit of a short roster due to injuries and illness. And so we came in knowing that we were going to be trying new things. And we loved playing French teams in general. So this was a great way to end the tournament for us.
You could not tell that there were, like, WFTDA big tournament rookies on there. That was an amazing game. What is the hardest thing about playing French roller derby?
In general, they're skaters. The skaters the must. I must confess.
Every single blocker on French team has footwork like a jammer. And so you know if a pivot is going to be out there taking the star, that it's not like a, oh, let's relax moment. Everyone has excellent footwork. Saw that today. We've also played Lomme 3 times since 2003. Seen them adjust their aggressiveness. And so that was also an exciting moment.
Whenever we train footwork, we try to motivate. I remember the French team, how good they are and how well they play, and we want to be.
Like, it's an honor to be demolished by the French.
I will say one thing too. Something I want to highlight is the fact that we're playing this tournament in light of the International Olympic Committee banning trans women from playing sports. And I just want to say, like, full stop, trans athletes belong in sport.
100%.
And trans women belong in the Olympics. If they want to, I couldn't. But every single jam out there is jam. No one like that. I have teammates that I love who are play against people. Vision, and I just say that this isn't happening in a vacuum. Love roller derby. You have to love trans.
And, like, trans athletes, like, it's ridiculous. But thankfully, I'm getting them now. Thankfully.
And I want to thank Castle for providing that. Had to make coming to the UK from Europe, and that's also. And so, like, I love roller derby, love trans athletes. This is messed up, and I just wanted to say that to.
So allowed to do. So that was your last tournament, right? So what is your
Sour whiskey.
not in the shower?
We played
Just the
we have a team. Had both early scheduling stuff
Sure.
there.
We really appreciate.
But we're martyrs for the cause. And so we're excited. We're excited to watch some other excellent roller derby sets. And so it's going to be like a.
Well, I just want to say you guys are such a joy. And I love every time you having the best time in the world, and to have you guys. And I can't. Were they? It's gonna. It was fine. You put it, you wrong. Oh yeah. What an amazing, unbelievable. Have some of you bad time. But Well, Bear City said they loved playing. Said that playing French roller derby against French honor because said all. So I want to about playing. Had to go. Made it look. So obviously, about this. Have you guys let yourself believe?
Are staying.
And you'll be.
Yeah.
I have my fingers crossed. Okay, and then the last thing I want to ask is kind of a question, but best thing about this. I love. I want her legs to.
Luckily, and I
Privilege, right?
nice. That's
That or, I mean, everyone who. And have fun. And I think we're going to go to